Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Franck Kessie, as it has been reported that the 28 million euro rated Barca star gives green light to leave the club amid interesting offers elsewhere. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then, secondly, in this episode, talking about Sofian Amrabat, as it has been reported that the Barca midfield target's asking price have lowered to 20 million euros. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch the video right up to the very end. Franck Kessie is one of the long list of players in contention to leave Barca in the coming summer. Although the former AC Milan player has enjoyed a significant better campaign in the second half of the season, Franck Kessie is still running the risk of being offloaded as part of Barcelona's plan to reduce the overall salary mass of the squad. According to a recent report from Dario AS, Kessie has in fact given Barca the go-ahead to leave the club ahead of the new season. The club have received interesting offers for the Ivorian and would strongly consider the proposals in the coming weeks. This comes shortly after Franck Kessie's agent had reportedly denied rumors that suggested how the player has given the green light to leave the club. Nevertheless, Barcelona have been actively involved in the bid to offload the midfielder over the past few months. Franck Kessie's departure, after all, could go a long way in freeing up more space in the midfield unit, allowing them to sign new players in the market. After missing out on the signing of Lionel Messi, Barca have changed their priorities in the market and are looking to add more depth to the squad. They have successfully registered the contract of Xavi, but the club still require considerable reinforcements in the middle of the park. Especially if Kessie leaves the club, Barcelona would require a new midfielder that can operate as a long-term replacement for Sergio Busquets. Ilkay Gundogan has emerged as a target, but there are doubts about whether the German will want to leave Etihad this summer. Gundogan's contract at Manchester City expires at the end of the season, but with Man City keen on renewing his contract, Barcelona must sanction Franck Kessie's sale as soon as possible and plan a comprehensive approach to sign the German international ahead of new season. Of course, if Barca want to push ahead for Gundogan signing as it looks promising, then I think futures of players like Franck Kessie will be off the table. Of course, this is not the first time Franck Kessie's future have been put into doubt, serious doubt. Earlier last week, we heard about him accepting that he's okay to leave the club if the club wants to sell him, but his agent came out and said those are all fake news. It's not true. Now, still getting this report of Franck Kessie still up for sale, and Barca want to cash in on him. Of course, to be honest, guys, it is a reality. For example, if Barca have been pushing so much for players like Ilkay Gundogan, then there is no need keeping Franck Kessie at all, honestly, because that will just further put Franck Kessie down the pecking order, which will not be good. I think Franck Kessie himself will reason it out and depart the club. Franck Kessie has not been bad either. It's just that circumstances of the club, economic-wise, have led the club to make these drastic decisions. So, of course, it is harsh. If you're on Franck Kessie's shoes, it is harsh if the club were to sell him. But it's not for sporting reasons. They have always emphasized that it is not for sporting reasons if they want to sell Franck Kessie, more of economic reasons, knowing fully well that the salary mass must be further widened in order to give some free space for the club to go about your transfer business with some breathing space, which is very important for a successful window. Franck Kessie have used the opportunities that Xavi have given him in the absence of Pedri and also in the absence of Frankie de Jong. We have seen Franck Kessie trying to put up his best performance, knowing fully well that if he doesn't, then Xavi can justify why he has not been playing. But I think Franck Kessie have done a spectacular job to ensure that he at least convinced Xavi to be starting some games, even if Pedri is available and Frankie de Jong. But it's unfortunate that Xavi have already have his first choice in his head, and coming to a club where the manager has his own ways of doing things, doesn't prioritize everybody, you know. So the future of Franck Kessie still remains a huge doubt as it stands, and there's a very slim hope that Franck Kessie will stay beyond the season, because from the look of things, Barca will sell players, and it wouldn't surprise many that Franck Kessie will be among those players to be sold, knowing fully well that they are so eager to get into the transfer market to strengthen the squad further, especially after missing on top target Lionel Messi, who finally agreed to choose Inter Miami over Al Hilal or over Barcelona, of course. So it is what it is. Let's see what happens with Franck Kessie's future in the days ahead. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barca will continue their search for a defensive midfielder through the summer, as Busquets has decided to leave the club as a free agent once his contract comes to an end. The Catalans have a host of players on their radars in that position, including the likes of Martin Zubimendi, Ruben Neves, Oriol Romeo, Arthur Vermeeren, and Fiorentina's Sofiane Amrabat. The Moroccan midfielder was close to joining Barca in the winter as well. The club offered the Italian giants a loan deal with the option to purchase the midfielder in the summer for 40 million euros, but it was turned down. The player, still crazy about playing for Barca, will likely be on the move this summer. His price, according to Sport, has been lowered by Fiorentina now to 20 million euros. However, Barca are aware of this change in price. The report suggests that the signing is on track and that his move could be facilitated in the summer. He is one of the pivot positions or pivot options of Xavi Hernandez. Of course, Xavi is a fan of the most, even though he's not a priority for him. The coaching staff prefers Zubimendi over Amrabat, but the price for the former is set at 60 million, release clause, with no room to negotiate. Fiorentina believe that Amrabat did Fiorentina a favor by staying at the club in January and are ready to let him go this summer. They are coming off a loss to West Ham United in the finals of the UEFA Conference League and are out of European competitions completely next summer, and will have to clear out some space in their squad to raise money through player sales. Amrabat, meanwhile, has multiple offers on the table, but prioritizing a move to Barca above all. Fiorentina could be interested in some of Barca's out-of-favor stars like Nico Gonzalez, Sergino Dest, and Umtiti. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.